Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Fine. So, once again, I welcome you all for your EVS class. So, today we are going to read another chapter, that is natural calamities. Okay, as we have seen nature, which is a gift of God, in that only there are many calamities, means disasters come, which are natural, which you cannot depict. ओके अब होने वाला है या तब होने वाला है, इसको हम लोग कोई बोल नहीं सकते हैं. ओके, so here we are having some natural disasters like earthquake, floods, then your volcano, drought, okay, cyclone, tsunami. These all are the different natural disasters. Okay, and these natural disasters, when they occur, we don't know when they will occur, but when they occur, there is a severe loss, a great loss, a huge loss for the people as well as the property. Okay, like if suppose I am giving you the example of earthquake. Earthquakes, when it occurs, we don't know. Okay, but once the earthquake occurs, then what happens? If it goes in a severe high range, then the buildings also collapse. Okay, buildings collapse. Then people can see cracks on your walls. Okay, or there will be a loss in the property also. We have made our house, we have decorated our house according to ourselves. Okay, but if such type of calamities will come, then we are losing everything. Okay, like floods. Recently, you people might have seen there was severe rainfall, and we had floods in this area in Chhattisgarh. There you might have seen whoever were there in the first ground floor. You might have seen their full property has been destroyed, because the water level was increasing, and the first floor till the height of first floor the water was there, and the property which we are having inside our house, whatever the things are there, okay, we have bought it, we have given money, that is our property. Okay, everything is lost, and there are many people, homeless people are there, who might have died. Okay, because of this water, and they don't have any place to stay. They might have. So, whenever a natural calamity occurs, there is a huge loss of people also and the property. Okay, so here we are going to start our chapter, that is natural calamities. A calamity is event that brings terrible loss. I have told you it brings a terrible loss. It's a huge loss. It is a disaster. Natural calamities are calamities used by nature. Sorry, caused by nature. By nature only. Okay, when it is caused, then that are called as natural calamities. It includes disasters such as earthquake, floods, landslides, cyclone and volcanic eruption. Some calamities are predictable. You can predict some, like cyclones are there. That one you can predict कब होने वाला है. To the weather satellites we can find. You might have seen in the newspapers also that there will be heavy rainfall. This much speed में your rainfall will be there. Like that you can predict. Some disasters are there which you can predict. For example, a hurricane. Some calamities such as earthquake takes us by surprise. Hurricane जो हवा भवंडर जो चलता है, that one is also predictable. They can say when it will come. But the earthquake, we don't know. It comes in a surprise. It is always good for us to know about the different kinds of calamities so that we can be prepared. What to be done, how we should save ourselves or the lives of others, that one we should know. So how can we know? If we will read, then we can know that how we have to take care of ourselves and our society. We should also remember that during a calamity, we should come forward to help the victims of the calamities. If any area is affected, with some of the natural disaster. Then you might have seen the other states, they give funds to those people. They come forward to help the natural calamity area. Okay. So here the first one we are going to read is earthquake. What is an earthquake? A sudden violent shaking. When there is a sudden shake in the earth. Okay, and that earthquake, it comes in one belt. Okay, how is the belt? You can see here the crack. Okay, इसी crack जैसे वो earthquake आता है. And when earthquake comes, no one knows. That is due to the imbalance in the earth. In our earth, inside our earth, there are different layers. Okay, when you will be going for higher studies, higher classes, now you can read the different layers inside the earth. So when those layers are there, if the layers will become imbalanced, then they have to balance themselves. If suppose these two copies books are there, okay, if they are kept like this, okay, then they are proper. Okay, but if it is somewhat it came up, then it will come balanced now. So if they make balance in the earth, then your earthquake occurs. Okay, when the earthquake occurs, there is a shake in the earth. पूरा ऐसे हिलता है, सब कुछ हिलता है. अब अगर earthquake होता है, आप अगर महसूस कर सकते हो, तो आप महसूस कर सकते हो कि पूरा जमीन हिलने लगता है, पूरा घर ऐसे ऐसे हिलता है. और जब उसका रेशियो कुछ ज़्यादा हो जाता है, तो फिर द बिल्डिंग्स कोलैप्स. बड़े बड़े 20, 40, 60 story buildings also they collapse. Okay, if that one is collapsed, then many people will be inside that building. They lose their lives there. Okay, so this is a natural calamity. Earthquakes are caused by the collision of the plates of rocks under the surface of the earth. Earthquakes of great intensity cause a lot of damage to life and property. In April 2015, you might have seen in the earthquake in Nepal took thousands of lives and caused huge damage to property. 2015 में in Nepal there was a huge earthquake. Okay, where many people have died and some lots of property has been destroyed. Okay, exactly in 2001 or 2000 में there was a severe earthquake in Gujarat. I think it is in 2001. It is on January 26th. It is in Gujarat. It was a severe earthquake where there was a cracks in the buildings and some big buildings were there, they were collapsed there. Okay, everywhere wherever it comes, it collapses. If it comes in a little range, just a jerk, then nothing will happen. You can only feel the jerk. Okay, when the intensity will become more, then you can find the loss. Exactly like that, here is tsunami. Tsunami is an extremely large wave in the sea caused by an earthquake. The earthquake on land, okay, जो जमीन पे earthquake होता है उसको हम लोग earthquake कहते हैं. लेकिन समुद्र सी के अंदर जो earthquake होता है that is called as tsunami. Okay, what happens in tsunami? You people might have seen that in sea the waves come. Okay, the waves come in sea. But in tsunami what happens? The waves which are coming with normal height. At the time of tsunami, the waves come in very big height. Height will be increased. And if the height is increased of the wave, then the wave where it falls, the distance also will increase. Yes or no? You people might have heard one tsunami in 2000. Here he has written it was so strong and forceful that it wipes out towns in coastal areas. On 9th March 2011, a tsunami of magnitude 9 struck Japan, leaving lakhs of people homeless and killing thousands of people. So here, tsunami is also a type of flood. Okay, when a waves comes out, then it enters inside the coastal area. Coastal areas means the area which is situated, means the places which are situated nearby the sea. They are called as coastal areas. So in that coastal areas, what happened? when this tsunami, the waves are increased or waves come in great height, then the distance also increases. At that time, the coastal areas all were merged inside the sea. But the difference in tsunami and floods is that floods is a river water which comes from the river. वो पानी आ जाता है और रुक जाता है. लेकिन सुनामी में क्या होता है? इट इज अ सी वाटर. सी वाटर नेवर स्टेज. इट इज नॉट अ स्टैग्नेंट. वो रुकता नहीं है. वो आया मतलब वो पानी वापस होगा ही होगा. ओके, सो व्हेन इट गोज इनसाइड, एवरीथिंग nearby, whatever is there, everything will go inside the sea. In that, some thousands of people, villagers, okay, nearby villages, thousands of people, their property, everything will be destroyed. Everything will get inside the sea. Okay, in 2009 or 2010, something, on 26th of December में, there was a severe tsunami attack in Madras. Okay, you can see this all in your YouTubes also. You can find how tsunami is coming, how the waves were coming, and how the people were affected. Okay, exactly like that. The third one is floods. Due to heavy rains, rivers become so full that they spread out onto the land around them. This event in nature is called flood. When the rivers are filled due to heavy rainfall, the river water fills up. When it increases, it comes to the land. So when it comes to the land, when more water comes, then the nearby whatever the villages will be there or town will be there, they will be submerged. That is called as flood. During flood, large areas of dry land get submerged in water. The dry lands, if they are there, then they will totally submerge in water. In 2014, the floods in Jammu and Kashmir caused a great damage to the lives of the people. The handicraft industries was greatly affected by the flood. In 2014, Jammu and Kashmir में there was a severe flood. Okay, in that flood, many people have left they have lost their lives, they have lost their property, and many small-scale industries like handicraft industries are there. Okay, they all are also collapsed. They have stopped. They have affected. Okay, water comes. Small industries will be there where people work with their hand. Okay, the manual work where goes on. They are called as handicraft industries. They all were affected. So here we have completed 3. They are earthquake, tsunami and flood. Just to see a video of some natural calamities through which you can have a clear picture.
Drought is generally described as continued absence of rains causing considerable hydrological imbalance. In India, about 70% of the land under cultivation is prone to drought. Though drought does not cause any structural drought is generally described as continued absence of rains causing considerable hydrological imbalance. In India, about 70% of the land under cultivation is prone to drought. Though drought does not cause any structural damage in comparison to other natural disasters, it does affect other important aspects of life in these regions. Let us learn more about this disaster. Diminishing groundwater levels, dry beds, rivers and reservoirs, and poor agricultural crop production are other signs warning the onset of drought. But what causes this disaster? Let's find When sources of water used for irrigation dry out due to extensive use, water is not available for agriculture, thus causing drought. Extensive use of land for agriculture to feed the increasing population makes the land infertile, thus increasing the chances of drought. Deforestation reduces the soil's ability to hold water, thus drying out the ground, triggering desertification, which leads to drought. Global warming changes pattern of rainfall and melting of mountain snow, thus increasing the possibility of drought. Drought disrupts the ecological balance in the affected areas. The most affected are the farmers and areas depending on rains for agriculture. People living in areas depending on agriculture are unemployed and hence migrate to other areas for work. Drought leads to failure of crops and scarcity of food and water, which further leads to malnutrition, starvation, and death. Shortage of straw and fodder for animals affects the health and life of the animals, also affecting the life of the people related to animal husbandry. Although there is no control over rain, a major factor of drought, certain measures can be taken to prevent the disaster. Drought can be predicted by continuous monitoring of the rainfall pattern and the water availability in the reservoirs. Water reservoirs should be constructed in drought-prone areas to collect and store water that can later be used during the time of scarcity. Rainwater harvesting structures should be created to increase water availability in times of need. Trees should be planted on a large scale as they increase the water holding capacity of the soil. Drought-tolerant plants which require less amount of water can be grown in the drought-prone areas. Alternative job opportunities other than agriculture should be made available to the people living in the drought-prone areas to reduce dependency on agriculture. This can be made possible by establishing heavy and small-scale industries in these areas. Certain mitigation strategies can be adopted to reduce the damages caused by droughts. Relief assistance to the drought-affected areas should be provided by the government and other agencies. The government should create job opportunities for the people in the drought-prone areas. In fact, the landless laborers can be employed for drought relief work itself. This will also prevent migration to other areas. Apart from the government, people from the community and the NGOs also can play a significant role in rehabilitation, training, and motivation.
Here you can see these are the relief camps. Whenever there is any natural calamity, here such type of camps they build. Okay, where the people go and different organizations which are there to help, NGOs and government which are there to help, they put such type of camps and they give shelter to the people who are affected in the natural calamity, and they also supply food, water and medicines with clothing. Okay, so here is one natural calamity which we have seen the video, that is drought. Now let us see the next video. This is about tsunami. Okay, just see how it comes.
Tsunami, one of the biggest natural disasters, is a series of ocean waves
Here you see the term tsunami comes from the Japanese term that means harbor, and su means harbor and nami means wave, means harbor waves. Okay, you have seen how fast they are coming. If inside the sea there is any earthquake or volcano or landslide inside the sea, then they are the volcanoes.
Tsunami, a natural disaster generated by underwater disturbance, causes great devastation and loss of life. One of the biggest and worst effects of a tsunami is on human life. Several people get killed, go missing, and are injured, while many others are left homeless. The survivors suffer psychological problems for a long time, often their entire life. The Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004 that hit the coast of several countries of South and Southeast Asia in December 2004 killed more than 200,000 people, while several thousands were reported missing. Tsunami waves wash away anything in their path, including buildings, houses, farmlands, and trees, resulting in tremendous property damage. Tsunami also leads to coral bleaching caused when the mud and debris flow in the opposite direction after the waves subside. This causes great loss of corals and coral reefs, which will further lead to pollution of sea waters. Tsunamis flood coastal areas and give way to diseases such as malaria found in stagnant and contaminated water. A natural disaster like tsunami can never be avoided. However, necessary preventive measures can be taken to reduce the damage caused on shore. Strong-rooted trees should be planted along the coastlines to fight the impact of strong winds and water. Buildings with deep foundations and pillars that withstand wind forces and torrential rains should be built in the tsunami-prone areas. Regions with a high risk of tsunamis should use the tsunami warning system, consisting of sensors that can detect tsunamis and a communication system that will alert people to evacuate to higher grounds. The authorities must promote public awareness amongst the masses about tsunami risks, warning signs, and preparedness actions to help prevent panic and chaos in the event of a disaster. Training should be provided at individual and community level to ensure disaster preparedness. While tsunamis cannot be prevented or their destructive effects entirely avoided, actions can be taken to mitigate the risks of this hazard. The government and other agencies should arrange for immediate relief activities such as shelters and other basic amenities such as food, water, and medical assistance. Damaged infrastructure such as powerhouses, railway lines, roads, and drinking water supply should be restored. Preventive measures should be taken to ensure any outbreak of communicable disease by providing the necessary medical assistance. Voluntary organizations, communities, and even individuals can participate in the relief activities and provide the victims
because there are rivers.
Although a number of climatic and geographic factors could lead to floods, sometimes man is also responsible for this disaster. Let us explore some of the causes responsible for floods. Continuous heavy rainfall is the most common cause of floods. When the river receives more water than its capacity to discharge due to heavy rainfall, the excess water overflows the banks into the adjoining areas, thus creating floods. When landslides occur, the water channels are blocked and water starts overflowing in the adjoining areas, causing floods. In the snow-covered mountain areas, snow starts melting rapidly during the summers. The sea level rises, thus leading to floods. Cyclones are often followed by heavy rains, creating flood-like situations. Floods are sometimes caused by human activities, construction of houses, other structures, and dumping of garbage can easily block the narrow passages of river and water channels. In such a scenario, the excess water flows into the adjacent areas, causing floods. Huge outflow of water by dams often causes floods in the nearby area. The cracking and collapsing of dams due to defective construction can also lead to floods and loss of life and property. Floods cause tremendous loss of life and property, disturbing the social, economic, and environmental life in the affected areas. The washing waters submerge houses, vehicles, and properties, leading to loss of property as well as human and animal life. A large number of people and livestock die by drowning, while the survivors are either left homeless or vulnerable to the diseases that follow the disaster. The water sources are contaminated by floods, and hence clean drinking water becomes scarce. Since the floods wash away fields along with the stored grains and other food supply is scarce. Electricity lines and means of transport are affected. Since most floods are preceded by heavy rainfall and melting of snow and are often predictable, a reasonable time period is available for proper planning to prevent floods. The authorities must promote public awareness amongst the masses about the floods and their mitigation strategies to help prevent panic and chaos in the event of a flood. Engineered structures should be constructed on an elevated area or on stilts to withstand flood forces. The government should be ready with well-trained disaster management and rescue teams in flood-prone areas. Artificial water channels such as canals can be built to facilitate control of water levels during the time of floods. Improved drainage system can also help control floods, especially during flash floods in the urban areas by facilitating easy flow of excess water. At an individual level, every person can store a personal stock of fresh water, dry food, medicines, and other necessities in waterproof bags. Some flood mitigation strategies can help reduce loss of life and flood damage. At the government level, the rescue team and other specialized agencies should be sent at the affected area with the required help. These teams should also help people move to safer areas along with their belongings. Adequate reserves of essential items should be available and distributed evenly to the victims of the disaster.
So you people have seen about floods. Now let us see about the earthquake. Okay, this is the last natural calamity.
An earthquake is a sudden and rapid shaking of the earth, where the area underlying the earth's surface shifts or breaks under stress. This phenomenon results The destruction also leads to diseases and a lack of basic necessities. Innumerable bridges and roads collapse due to the shaking and vibration of the earth, thus affecting the transport network. Earthquakes can also trigger landslides, specifically in the hilly regions. Earthquakes that take place inside the sea can sometimes cause tsunami. A natural disaster like an earthquake can never be avoided. However, some steps can be taken as protection measures. Construction of earthquake-resistant buildings is one of the most important ways to avoid the risk of collapse. These buildings must adhere to certain requirements of the building codes and guidelines set up by the Bureau of Indian Standards. Public awareness should be initiated by arranging training programs for architects, builders, contractors, and other government functionaries. The possible dangers should be identified and certain precautionary measures should be broadcasted in the earthquake-prone areas. Latest techniques such as seismometers will be used to detect earthquakes and give early warnings so that people are moved to safer places in time. The government should be ready with well-trained disaster management teams in earthquake-prone areas. The same efforts can also be made at community and individual levels. A natural disaster like an earthquake can occur at any time without any warning sign. Certain mitigation strategies should hence be implemented during and after the earthquake. During the event of an earthquake, follow the drop, cover, and hold routine when indoors. Go under a piece of heavy furniture like a table or a bed. Cover your eyes and hold on to the table or bed till the tremor stops. To prevent further danger, encourage everyone to evacuate the building in an organized manner. If outdoors, people should move to the open area, away from buildings, street lights, and electric posts, and wait till shaking stops. If possible, the people indoors should switch off the main electric supply and disconnect gas pipelines. After the tremors stop, people should maintain their calm and help the victims and injured. The disaster management team and other specialized agencies should be sent at the earthquake hit area with the required help. Relief camps should be arranged for the victims and the injured. The government, NGOs, and other people can help the rehabilitation of the victims by providing food, medical help, and other services.
Hope so. You people have understood everything through this videos. We have seen different number of the natural calamities, how they are occurring, why they are occurring, then after occurring what the people do, how we help each other, and what is the role of the communities there. Everything we have seen. Hope so you people have understood the chapter clearly. Okay. Thank you everyone. Bye. Take care.